This is like the number one problem area that people say that they have. So when we go and we talk in the community around what are your needs, door-to-door, we do surveys. We talk to people when they come into Lake Norman for the first time. We ask them to fill out the visitor cards. What are your needs? What's your biggest concern? Number one area, finances, right? Apart from stuff for kids to do in terms of people's problems that they have. But it's one of the fewest areas where we need people to come out and participate in the workshops. And I think the reality is, when asking the question, what is your biggest need? The answer is finances, but the truth is, I don't know how many people really want to do something about it. I mean, it's a lot easier to play the lottery than it is to build a budget, right? It's a lot easier to, pray and ask God for supernatural deliverance than it is for us to do investing. And so, consequently, it's a challenge because there's such a huge need when it comes to finances, but there's such a little desire to make change. And so, one of the things that I want to do with this workshop, and that I've always seen as a goal of mine, is to not just give you some principles, because on Sunday mornings I do a lot of preaching on principles in the Word. So we're going to reflect on that as well. But then there's also the tools, there's also the practical things, because as much as I believe that we are blessed in our giving, I don't think you can give your way out of a bad financial management problem. I don't think you can give your way, just all of a sudden everything turn around. So this is the, how do we become a wise steward over the 90% focus? That's where I really want to spend most of my time today. There are some statistics around finances that I find very disturbing and has not changed over the years. 95% of couples admit that they argue about finances on a regular basis. 95%. Over 62% of Americans will make over $1 million in your lifetime. Over 62%. Think about this, $1 million. If you make $30,000 a year, and let's just even talk household income, if you bring in $30,000 a year, most people will work at least 40 years. That is $1.2 million. Let that sink in for a minute. $1.2 million over your lifetime. The average family is going to bring that in and even more. But the problem is, when you retire, the average American won't have enough to be able to retire on their own. The average American will have to work until they die, or else they won't be able to take care of themselves. I agree with that definition because it's interesting. Anything that puts money in your pocket is another way to say it. Why is that important? Because many times the technical definition of an asset is different, right? If you go to a CPA and ask what is an asset, they're going to tell you, they'll have a longer definition of how you define it. But how they classify it is very different than what we practically classify assets as. This is a goal that everybody should have. You may not have positive monthly cash flow. Remember, when I first started this workshop sitting here, I was upside down every month. I didn't even know I had a negative cash flow. When I first did my budget, I had $900 a month that I could not account for. I wrote my budget down and I said, well, I know I'm paying this for my rent, I know I'm paying this on my car, I know it's coming in, but this $900 a month, I don't know where it's going. It was like the black hole. And so, as a result, but I know I was negative every month, right? So, understand, this is goal number one.